All right, so we have a fourth degree polynomial. Leading coefficient is positive. So this looks sort of like this over here. And what happens in between here, a little more complicated, but that's the general shape of it. So what do? I would say Descartes rule of signs. So plus, plus, minus, minus, and there's only one sign change. So I know S is 1, which means we have one positive root. All right? Now, certainly, I'm going to look for it. And certainly, if I put down, like f of 0, that's minus 1. If I do f of 1, I'm just kind of marshalling integer-wise. That would be what? 1. By the way, this is less than 0. I get 1 plus 3. Let's see, minus 4, minus 1. Well, that's definitely negative. All right, and then what do you get over here? F of 2. It's going to change directions. We know that much. What do you get over there? Well, that would be 16 plus, well, 3 times 8 is 24. I think you get the idea what's happening over here. Minus 8, minus 1. Okay, so I know the root. All right, so the root. I know its location now. So the positive root, the location, is on the interval between 1 and 2. All right, know that. That's a good thing to know. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look for the negative roots now. Again, you have to understand it's a fourth degree polynomial. I'm expecting to see more roots in the problem. And I'll tell you the number one reason why. If you look at this picture over here, the y-intercept, negative, and I have a root between 1 and 2, so it's sort of like this over here. And this thing's got to go back up, all right? It's got to go back up somewhere, all right? Now, granted, it could be a little wavy there. It could hit it more than once. But the bottom line is, maybe there's 2 real roots, 2 complex. Let's take a look. We'll use Descartes rule of sign to do it. So I'm going to do this one over here. You get plus, minus, plus, minus. How many sign changes do we get? 1, 2, 3. So S equals 3. And remember, we're going to do S minus P. And that's got to be a non-negative even number. So what could P be? P could be, let's take a look. We got 3 minus P, right? Well, P can't be 0, certainly. We knew that, but just look at the picture. Could P be 1? Yeah, P could be 1. Could P be 2? No. Could P be 3? Yes. All right, so the possibility of 1 negative root, 3 negative roots. So we got to search for them, all right? And the way I do that with basic sign analysis, all right? So remember, f of 0, that's a very easy one. That's a negative number. Let me remind you what f is again. It's right over here. And then you're going to do f of minus 1. And f of minus 1, what would that give me? Let's write that down. You'd get 1 minus 3 plus 4 minus 1. And that's going to give you a positive number. All right? So what do I now know? I know I got another root. And that root I'm getting over here, I'm getting a root between, let me write down the x for you. The root x is between minus 1 and 0. All right? Now, certainly, I want to get a feel for it. And someone says, why do you need a feel for it? To see what's happening. All right? So I'll do f of minus 2. And what does that give me? 16. Well, then you get minus 24. Then you get plus 8 minus 1. It's negative. All right? So it's changed signs. So f of minus 2 is less than 0. So now you have another root. And the root's going to be x is on the interval between minus 2 and minus 1. Whoops. Now just give it a feel for this over here. I want to point out, and we talked about this before, we got a y-intercept. And again, this is just a rough picture, something like this. What do I know now? I know there's a root between minus 1 and 0. So it goes up like this. And then what's happening between minus 2 and minus 1? It's coming back down. I know it's got to go back up, by the way. And why is that? It's doing something like this. We know that much, all right? So I'm going to keep searching, and I'll do f of minus 3. And what's that going to be? That's pretty tough computation, right? 81. And then, let's see, you would get minus 81. That's nice and convenient. Then you get plus 12 minus 1. It's positive, all right? So this is f of minus 3 is greater than 0. So I know there's another root, right? What's the root going to be? X is going to be, this is a root. X is going to be on what interval now? Between, that doesn't look right. Let me erase it. F of minus 3 is, it's going to be between minus 3 and minus 2. Something like this. All right, again, not a great picture. We're not looking for a great picture at this point. There's ways to refine it. But I want to just outline the roots that we've, locations that we found so far. So we found this between 1 and 2. We found this. We found this. And this. So we found 4 locations. I want to go to the picture. And that's 323. And remember I said between 1 and 2. Let me show you what I mean by that. That's this one here. Let's do the next one between minus 1 and 0. That's right here. What was the other one we said? Between minus 2 and minus 1. That's here. And what's the last one we said? Between minus 3 and minus 2. And that's that root right over there. Now, granted, this is just getting a general location where they are. It's nice to have a general location. That's all we did, all right? Now, granted, when I type this stuff up, hopefully you're looking through that stuff and reading it. My chicken scratch is one thing. It's how I originally do the problem, but then I have to type it up, all right? So hopefully it's starting to gel for you, all right? I want to remind you who I am. My name is Ron Bannon. If you need to reach out to me, my name is Bannon. My email address is also Bannon. Let me get back to the pen. That's B as in boy, the @ symbol, NNON.US. Thank you.